Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Cinema. I am Money Mike, and we're about a little bit over a week away from the first ever two-night Summerslam live from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. And I can't help but feel that the WWE dropped the ball on what could have been their biggest story of the year. And if you saw the thumbnail, you know what I'm talking about. Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso. Now, let's all go back to the King of the Ring. Sami Zayn was in the tournament for the King of the Ring. Obviously, he did not make it to the finals. But you have to wonder, should he have won the King of the Ring instead of Cody Rhodes? Because the story is that the winner gets to a championship match at SummerSlam. And the prospect of Sami versus Jey was right there for the WWE. And the only reason we didn't get that, and the reason Jey Uso lost his title reign, was because in the year 2025, the WWE felt like Goldberg needed to be in a world title match. Which, I mean, do we really have to be? Do we really have to have Jey Uso's reign cut short just so Goldberg could be in a title match? I mean, I'm just saying, you could have had Gunther and Goldberg without the title. But because they felt the need to do that, Jey Uso's reign got cut short, and Sami Zayn, which ultimately ended any hope of that storyline. But I have to wonder, was that the wrong decision? Because right now, Sami Zayn's character is, I don't want to say it's going to grow tiring with the fans, but at some point, the underdog who always gets injured and I want to fight through the injury, that type of character with Sami Zayn is going to grow old fast with the audience. Him doing it every week. They announced that he was going to be out indefinitely. So he came back on Raw, had a match with Karrion Kross. He lost. So now Sami Zayn has a win over Kross, and Karrion Kross has a win over Sami. So I have to imagine we're going to get the rubber match. But, Kross has been saying Sami Zayn is a bad guy. They've been teasing this thing with Sami, and when you look at all the interactions that Kross has had previously, they've all gone heel after they've interacted with him. And the New Day being one of the recent ones. And there was a lot there with Sami Zayn, especially if you gave Sami the King of the Ring and you had him going against Jey and them two trying to make it a friendly match or something. Like, oh yeah, we're just two friends, having a good match. That's all this is about. Make the best man win, blah blah blah. But then you have Karrion Kross playing these mind games throughout this whole build up, to where it's like, Sammy, you're really a bad guy. Why don't you tell Jey the truth? And then you could have Kross actually maybe messing with Jey. Because remember, Jey was evil too at one point. And so Kross could kind of play mind games with both of them. And you could do segments where Kross kind of plays mind games with the both of them, and Jey and Sami, they don't know. They start to get a little poisoned by Kross, and they start to think that the other is going to turn on each other. Sami thinks Jey's going to turn on him. Jey thinks Sami's going to turn on him. Whatever. But I go back to 2019 with Daniel Bryan. We got the happy underdog ending at WrestleMania 30. And when he had the WWE Championship match against AJ Styles, he turned heel to do it. He turned heel in order to become the WWE Champion. It wasn't the big heroic babyface return from injury, winning the world title that we all expected it to be. It was, oh my gosh, he just turned heel to become the champion. And if you think about it, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, the entire history between them two, going all the way back to the bloodline. Imagine if Sami would have turned heel because Cross finally got to him. Cross finally got to him, and he turned heel in the middle of the match in order to become the world champion. Yeah, it isn't the big, oh my gosh, Sami Zayn's finally done it. He's finally the world champion. It's the shock and the awe of how he did it and turning on his best friend Jey Uso, who he's been supportive of from day one. Ish. I mean, Sami Zayn was out from the Elimination Chamber beyond WrestleMania 41, and Sami made his return on the Raw after Mania. And Sami was there to celebrate with Jey Uso. And there was a lot to build off of that, Sami celebrating with Jey, and maybe because of Karrion Kross playing his mind games, Sami would have gotten jealous, or that jealousy would have been showing a little bit more, and we would have gotten the heel turn accumulating at SummerSlam with Sami winning the world title over Jey. But Goldberg had to be in a world title match in the year 2025, so all that was thrown away. And I go back to the King of the Ring. Cody Rhodes didn't really need to win the King of the Ring. We saw this past Friday on SmackDown, John Cena was trying to get out of the match. So why couldn't Cody, had just kept asking for a match? Cena kept ducking him until finally Nick Aldis says, all right, Cena, you are going to be facing Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. That's it, right? No more ducking him, no more of that. Cody Rhodes is Cody Rhodes. He doesn't need to win King of the Ring. So, to me, it felt like because of the whole thing, getting Goldberg in a world title match, them doing the most obvious and boring way of getting Cody back to Cena, the WWE threw away what could have been their biggest story of the year with Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. What do you guys think? Do you prefer Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso, or do you prefer the route that we're going to be taking with CM Punk versus Gunther and the likely tag team match of Roman Reigns and Jey Uso teaming up versus Braun and Braun Security at SummerSlam? Let me know in the comments below. I've been your host, Money Mike, and you've been watching Ringside Cinema.